I don't know whether my background's a mess or you can see things that I don't want you to see. I was just feeling like I wanted to film, but I didn't really know what to film, and then I kind of had a thought that probably what you guys would like most is if I just talked honestly about something, and then it kind of struck me that one of the main things that I can talk about right now is work and how it's going for me with my mental health. So, hi everyone. This is me. This is Fionn. I'm wearing a green eyeshadow look today in an attempt to be Christmassy. What am I saying? Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna jump on here and ramble and try to talk like candidly about how I'm feeling at the moment. So, work is hard. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just working as a waitress in a pub, pretty much. So, I mean, the official title is front of house team member. So I serve meals and clear tables and make sure there's no empty glasses lying around, keep things tidy, help clean the kitchen at the end of the night, all of that sort of jazz that you would expect as somebody who works in a pub. And this is coming up to Christmas time. It's currently kind of the Christmas period, and as you can imagine, in the Christmas period, pubs are pretty busy because people are just coming off of work, or they're having work Christmas parties, or, you know, families are going out for meals. Pubs are pretty busy places around this season. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I have anxiety, and one of the main things that causes anxiety for me is being in crowds of people. So if I'm in a room where there's a lot of people in it, then I start to feel really claustrophobic and I panic. I'm not sure how to put it any other way. That's just one of the main things that causes anxiety for me. I have anxiety about other things, but one of the worst ones is like being around people and how to act around people, and also just feeling claustrophobic and frankly like I'm gonna die when I'm like trapped in between too many people. And as part of the job, you know, once it gets really busy late at night, there'll be a lot of people in there, most of which will have to be stood up because it's not the biggest pub in the world. So there's a lot of people standing around drinking, and if there's no like meals to take out when it's getting later in the night, then the main thing that we have to do is go and collect glasses, make sure there's no empties just lying around, because if you've got excess glass, then, you know, it's a hazard. People can drop those and they can smash, and then there's smashed glass to clear out of the way, people can get hurt, stuff like that. It's just to make everything tidier. I don't really need to explain that to you, do I? Why am I explaining that? But yeah, that's one of the main things that we end up having to do, and when it gets really busy, that means you are trying to navigate tiny gaps between people, and you have to force your way through whilst they're being loud and having their conversations. You're accidentally standing on people's toes and bumping into people, and there's no space in between you and them, but you have to get through them in order to make sure you're doing your job and make sure you're collecting the glasses and doing your damn job. So I have to do that, and when it's busy, it's absolutely horrifying for me. So I had a night like this last night at work, and a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago I think it was, there was a boxing match on, and the pub that I work at is quite a sports pub, so it was very, very busy on that night when they showed the boxing, and it was very, very busy last night because last night was something called Mad Friday, where everybody's out having drinks with people because it's like they're having their last days of work, or they're like teachers have their last day and then they go out and have drinks. So like I went in at 3 o'clock yesterday and it was already horrendously busy, and I started to feel the panic like well up in my chest just walking through to get to the staff room to like drop my stuff up and get myself ready. I was already super freaked out because it's never that busy. at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it basically stayed that busy for the whole shift. But I just had to deal with it. But it was not fun at all. Not fun at all. Because yeah, a big part of the night was just trying to push myself through crowds of people, and I'm a small girl. I'm only 5'2", and every one of my colleagues keeps claiming I'm the skinnier one, so they'll take the other jobs where you don't have to push through the people as much, and if it's difficult to get through a space, then they're like, you should do that because it's easier for you. But probably what they don't realise is how horribly anxious it makes me feel. And I know it's not rational to feel like you're going to die just because you're going through a crowd of people. Like, nothing that horrible can really happen, but that does not change the way that I feel. I know that my anxiety is irrational, but it's still just as horrendous. So I feel like when I have shifts like that, it's like I have anxiety attack levels of anxiety, like I'm on the brink of just full-blown panic, like the whole time. And it's really hard to get through like several hours of work where the busyness doesn't let up and there's just people there all the time, and you have to try and busy yourself and distract yourself by just doing the jobs that you have to do. But it's still really, really difficult, and I can't get myself to calm down most of the time. So I get really fidgety and I'll fiddle with my hands. I feel like I hold my breath a lot when I'm trying to go through these crowds of people because it is freaking me out, so that when I get back into the kitchen where there's a little bit more space to breathe, I end up feeling a bit like I'm going to pass out, and I have to like stand there and just take a few deep breaths, because otherwise I'm getting no freaking oxygen in because I'm just too panicked and freaked out the whole time. So that's great. There's not really much else to say on that other than, like, I don't know, I feel like I maybe deserve to pat myself on the back a little bit, because I tweeted this out last night about the fact that I keep surviving these shifts and going through with it and just doing my job and not like freaking out and running away and hiding or using any negative like bad habits to deal with it. You know, I keep surviving it, and that's got to show something about my strength, maybe. Yeah, that I'm managing it and I'm not like aborting mission even though I want to the entire time. So maybe that's good of me, but I don't know, I'm more kind of talking to you about this because it's just, I don't know, it's so stressful. And I'm supposed to be trying to find a graduate job still because I don't want to work in a pub forever. I'm very clear about that. I did a degree for a reason, and I would really like to get a graduate job. 90% of the time, work in a pub is pretty good. It's a nice atmosphere. When the customers are happy, you're happy. Yeah, it's mostly really pleasant. Everyone is really friendly. But when it gets stressful, it gets really stressful. And that's the part that I don't like about it. But I feel like I'm handling it the best that I can, and I'm doing okay. So there is that. But yeah, I've put applying for graduate jobs and things on the back burner recently, whether that's right or wrong, because I've just been I felt like there hasn't been enough headspace to deal with that sort of thing, to be planning ahead for the future when I'm just trying to get through each like hour of work and each hour or minute of a really difficult day, because my mental health isn't that great at the moment, and not just because of work and the anxiety of work, but just feeling generally depressed, and this overwhelming sense of impending doom is the only way I can put it. I don't want to get too deep and scary or like worry anybody, but I've just not been feeling like there's much hope for me. It's been feeling like, I don't know, I keep saying this to people that care or talk to me or let me talk at them about my mental health and how things are going and how I'm feeling, but it's just an overwhelming sense of I can't shake the feeling that I'm not gonna make it, whatever that means exactly. Like, I just don't feel like I'm gonna make it. And I don't want to say that means that I just feel like I'm gonna lose my battle with mental health. I don't know whether that means instead that I just don't feel like I'm ever going to be good enough in my career path, that I'm never going to get the jobs that I want to get, or it feels like I'm never going to get a job that I will feel is worthwhile and that I'm passionate about, or whether that means that I'm never going to be the sort of person that I want to be. I don't know. I know I'm rambling now and that all sounds probably pretty confusing, but that's how I feel at the minute. It doesn't feel like I have much hope of things working out, so all I'm really doing right now is like getting through things little by little, which I think is okay for now. It will be okay for now. I guess what we really want is I don't know if you give a shit about me, but the people that do give a shit about me, what they really want is for me to, you know, keep going and survive, because the alternative is not surviving, and I don't think they'd be a fan of that. If this is how I have to get through it, by just taking things little by little and, you know, trying to use work as a means of distraction from how I'm feeling, and just show up and do the best that I can as much as I can, then that's good enough. That's got to be good enough. And I think it is. I just naturally panic all the time that I'm not doing enough and I'm not being proactive enough, and maybe the reason I feel like I'm not going to get anywhere is because I'm not doing the stuff to get me somewhere. But then, you know, a friend I spoke to earlier today said that, like, put it in a good way, that like, if this is what I need to do to look after myself and take care of my mental health and, you know, manage, then that's okay. And I have to, like, realise that, like, it's no good stressing out and panicking about the future and all of that jazz if I, you know, fuck with my mental health so much that I don't get through it, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like I'm fending off a big breakdown at the minute. And I try to have hope that maybe that will go away. And, you know, if I keep going with work and I get through this busy Christmas period, then if they keep me on past the Christmas period, it will be, you know, quieter in work and it might be more enjoyable that way. And then I'll start to feel happier and better, and then maybe I will be able to put more applications in for graduate jobs, and maybe something will work out. From that, maybe I will find hobbies and things that I like to do around here, because for now this is where I live, because I haven't got the graduate job yet. There's nowhere else for me to go. There's no point in me moving out and living by myself when I can't afford to. But yeah, maybe it will all work out, and maybe I'll start to feel hopeful again soon, and I feel like I just have to survive until then, and that's okay if that's all I can do. I suppose that's the message of this video. I've kind of just rambled at you to, like, vent for my own sake, because I guess it helps to talk through this stuff, because it is a big part of my life right now. Everything is, you know, not feeling great up here, but just trying to keep going as best I can. And it's been really rough, but I'm getting through it so far, and I feel like that shows you that you can too. If you're struggling to survive day to day, or to keep going with whatever it is, whatever obligations you feel like life has shoved on you, you can do it, you can get through it, and hopefully there will be more hope for us both soon. I don't know if there's anything else to say. I'm just trying to keep safe the best that I can, and I slip up sometimes still, but I'm still here, and I hope that you stay. I hope that you stay too, because no one really deserves to be feeling this way, and I don't know why my brain works this way and I feel the way that I do, but I just kind of have to accept it, that it's a part of life, and as long as I survive and eventually find more things that make me truly happy and want to be alive more, then yeah, it'll be okay. It's gonna be okay. Okay, I'll go, because all I've been doing is rambling at you for like 18 minutes. And I don't know whether this video is good or worthwhile, or if you like it or like me. Shut up. Shut the fuck up, yeah. even my camera wants me to shut the fuck up, so I'm gonna go. I love you. Stay safe. Bye. Like, subscribe, comment what made you happy today.